Animal, 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 animal. It's Bloomburrow time. Hey everybody. We're doing some drafting today. Last week, Bloomburrow came out on Arena here, and we're gonna do some more uh drafting of it. So my plan was to do some of this on Friday, but I ended up going to a paper draft of this instead. I found some strong success with like low to the ground aggro in this set, which doesn't surprise me in a world of small animals that the small creatures are able to leverage that well. Um, a lot of different directions for a lot of different synergies across the five colors and the combinations. Uh, but it definitely feels like you're looking to have a plan that can deal with small creatures coming at you fast. So, yeah. Hope you've gotten to enjoy this set yourself, with it being out for the last week. I know in our previous iterations, we've had some good success with red. I want to see what we can do with. Thinking about rabbits. I keep thinking about how I want otters to work, but I keep having trouble how I'd want them to come together. We'll see. I'd be interested to see if that has some way we can get things rolling. But anywho, is it curse? Yeah. Is it has formats where it's very strong? Um, is it has some worlds where is one of the better things you can be doing? Is it also has some worlds where it just doesn't the synergies to get it to come together are a lot more difficult to pair up. Um, I know for a long time Simic was a color combination that has like historically been uh, underrepresented in different limited formats. But in others, it's also again like something you can be really happy with. Card advantage in big creatures. Uh, Proliferation of removal into green. Yeah, Malmed saying good punch spells help. Yeah, proliferation of like playable removal into green does a lot. Anyway, to battle. Did they fix it? Nope. It's still, we'll never know what lizard folk do. And Simic has also had like different again ups and downs. I can think of pretty bad formats for it. Um but I really like frogs. Uh there's some pretty powerful frog synergy cards that I'm pretty happy with. Oh, Davey, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. Let's see what sort of animals we find today. Obviously, the different calamity beasts are powerful directions. Each of them Azure Beastbinder. Vigilance can't be blocked by creatures greater 2 or greater power attacks. Target artifact, creature, planeswalker, and opponent controls loses all abilities. It becomes a 2/2 if it's a creature. Okay. That's like funky. It lets you like turn off creatures by getting in at them. Consumed by Greed is like Big Edict that also gets you a creature back. Wear down is like wear down isn't the one. I like the one that has like cycling make a food on it a little more. Run away together's a neat card that can push some things together. This little bird is pretty good as well. I might grab the beast binder and think about the edict is the other bit. Bare knuckle boxer's really nice. Forager's quite nice. Pond prophet, like shell duo. Do I want to try and find things in Frogtown to go into? A lot of blue vigilance going on here. I love bare knuckle boxer for being a really good aggressive outlet. Forager also works as a good recursion piece. It's easy to have the food for it. I like the green in here. I think I like the bark. I say bare knuckle. That's the bark knuckle boxer. A little more than I like the Pond Prophet. Pond Prophet plays a fine role. Spellguider's okay. This is a draw spell first and a counter spell second. It's a good draw spell. It's a bad counter spell, but the fact that it's both really gives it a lot of wings. Full of bees is quite nice. Everyone likes to be full of bees. Fight a creature token, disenchant, or like move a counter. Really nice. And the rabbit. I really like this rabbit. I think it's a really powerful common. It could cost 4 for ways to spend that. Cash grab is also really good. This is a good recursion piece, like not recursion piece, but like kind of pickup that fills your grave for the green stuff. Tree Guard Duo. The green in here is really nice. Considering the rabbit, but I think I like. I kind of want to get myself into the green a little heavier first. Might be higher up on the Wolverine than I should be. Moose. Moose is nice. Corpse Berry's fine. Carrot cake is good. This is the token generator. That's a quite strong one. Savor can kill a lot in this format, and the food token is quite relevant. Even if it can't kill, it can usually get you combat your control. Might of the Meek, I think, is stronger than it looks, and it looks pretty good. Mind Spiral's fine. We saw Brazen Collector doing huge work for us in the past. I'm going to pick up the green. We'll see what goes with it. I'm not committed to the blue. We'll see what kind of color might come with. Okay, well. I'm being sent a message. I get Assault, Sun Shower Druid, Whisker Quill. This Reptilian Recruiter is a weird one. It is a threaten. Flame Gecko. Agate Assault. I think it's like Agate Assault, or there's also a couple of cards here. Sun Shower Druid is fine. I'm okay with that card being around, but I'm gonna pick up the red and see what we end up doing. Bark Knuckle coming back around. I say back around as though we've already seen it. So, Bark Knuckle, absolutely where I'm happy to be. Also, the rest of this pack is all like fine cards. Sazcap's good. Bell's good. Rampager works better than I think it looks. That unblockability on it can be a lot. Warren Elder is 1 mana cheaper than I think that ability goes for. So that's fine. I'm going to take the duo here. Again, green looking nice. Black having some good things. I might want to actually pick up the Suncharger. Now, Tree Guard Duo is a card I've been very happy with. This could generally give like +3 minimum, and then like, you know, put your opponent in an abyss situation, or at least on that attack. like where they just have to jump because it's coming in for like 6 or 7, and it keeps your defense going. All right, so Pond Prophet, really good here. I'm also seeing the Sleeper. I don't hate the idea of the Sleeper. When creatures die, it gets cheaper. None of our secondary colors are committed at this time. Yeah. Wear down. Grotto's fine. Bravekin Duo is a really nice card. I have a high respect for this. Cinder and Cutthroat also works like on an aggressive line. Hidden Grotto is fine for a one like a. I'm gonna grab the Hidden Grotto. I'm fine with one of this. None of these are likely to make the cut. I know my gut is more on the War Squeak. Whoa! Yo, this is very good for this direction. So if we can get the black to work, Cash Grab is a card that really powers it well. We don't have a lot of the, okay. Corpse Cultivator, and we also saw Mouse late there, so I see. Hugs, Tree Guard Duo, Hugs. So the thing I like about like Cash Grab and the Cultivator, like, is that these also set up the Burster Swarm. If I wasn't picking Hugs here, there's also a lot of like fine red. Rabid Gnaw is really good, for instance. Very strong removal. We've seen Brazen Collector doing a lot. I'm a little worried about Hugs the pick here. Double red is a little higher than I want, but maybe that's okay. Like, hopefully we can find some more of the fixing pieces within green. There's a lot of green creatures that tap for any color. I'm willing to grab Hugs here. Again, I'm not willing to say for certain that that puts us into red, especially because the Husk Burster Swarm is a card I actually find a lot more interesting as a payoff. 6/6 Menace Death Touch is invincible. And if we can fit this with, like, a few things like Cash Grab or other graveyard enablers, this coming down on 4 or 5, or just being any time on the late game is going to be really effective. This does mean I'm pretty, like, I want to find a lot more of these low-end curve cards. This is a perfect one. Baker's Bane Duo not only is a card that pays off being top-heavy, but does get us some food around for the Corpseberry. I'd be fine with also taking... Blooming Blast is okay. You can get this to kill if need be for that treasure, and that's okay. I also like most, like, the white in here is also quite strong. Coyote, Mentor, and Carrot Cake are all fine cards for these two specifically for the go wide. Coyote, I think, just works as like okay removal. Like, I say okay, it's better than that. Curious Forger Eye Starfall Invocation here. A little too late for me to switch over on that. That's fine. Foragers is looking fine. We have gotten a couple ways of getting food available to us, and the Husk Burster does fine if the creatures are in exile. It doesn't really care. So right now we're picking things up where we could be like Gruul for Hugs, Splash Black. We could not play the black. We could just play the green and one of the others. We'll kind of see how that looks out at the end. Agate Blade. I've been reasonably impressed with this. Sometimes it has trouble being able to move forward. We were never really in blue. That Azure Beastbinder was just a card I was fine picking up and seeing if the direction worked. Sadly, we didn't really get too heavily on some of the like frog stuff that I was hoping to see to go with it. Go ahead and pick up this Agate Blade. I'm not huge on it, but I don't hate it. Wix Patrol, Treetop Sentries, Paw Patch. Wix Patrol is like big removal. Yeah, this is like This was okay. We're getting a little bit on the heavy side where I want to find some 2-drop pieces to get us up to that. That's something I'm going to keep a close eye on. But I am okay with this as our top end here. So let's get the bottom end fixed up. Consumed by Greed is a little black heavy, but like if black ends up being our second color, I'm not bad with that. And it is both recursion and big removal. Starlit Soothsayer works with the surveil stuff, but we don't have a lot of ways to trigger that. And I feel like Rust Shield's fine. High Stride is like, I've not been terribly impressed. I want to go lower curve. Another Cultivator. We can get that going. We see some white going here as well. Scales of Shale is a trick I'm pretty happy with, even if we're not terribly huge into lizards. Tree Guard Duo. Okay, I feel like the important bits to fill out this deck then at this point are creatures at the low end. Okay, Fountain Board Bell's also a fine fill out. Creatures at the low end, you see that this 2 just isn't going high enough. Something, and like removal pieces. Hunter's Talent here fits part 2. High 3 Tree City. I picked up an Autumn one of these at the draft I did. I was pretty happy with that. Galewind Moose is another biggie, but I actually think the fight from Hunter's Talent does a lot for us. I don't hate if we pick up a Heaped Harvest at some point. Heaped Harvest grabs a land on come in and grabs a land on sack, but you don't have to sack it to its own ability to get that first land. We can sack it to one of our forage effects in order to use it as a ramp piece. But this is like a 2-mana bite that also gives us some trample and some card draw as the game goes along. Peerless Recycling is pick up 2 permanents. Cash Grab number 2 is also nice here. Bone Cash Overseer. Now this is a fun one. I love the little 3 little friends on there. Here, have a go do a crime. This works with forage. It also just works with food in general. Not certain how much. I think I might actually be on the cash grab over the recycling, because the cash grab lets us set up some of our more powerful plays. That's probably as many of those as I want. Flat Village is the pickup on black creature types, which gives us Squirrel. So I could pick up most creatures in our deck. We also have Cash Grab 3, Pawn Profit. I could pick up Heaped Harvest as well, but maybe I am fine with a 3rd Cash Grab. I said maybe I'm over on that, but no, that's actually fine. I now at this point just want to find some pieces of like, ooh, there's a lot of different creatures available to us here. Pollywallop is like removal for us. Head of the Homestead is a board. Forager's Recursion. Downwind Ambusher is our skunk here, and this thing also gets a lot done. I've had this be pretty effective in combat. Hi, Otterball. Gonna go with Ambusher, actually, in my mind. I think that's an interesting one. Sticky Tongue Sentinel, this thing is both a fine body, 3/3 reach, gets a lot done as far as like stuff like this, but also the bounce on here can be kind of useful. Sometimes it's just untapping a land, but sometimes it's also like pick up a Baker's Bane duo and remake a food if you have 5 mana. Moonstone Harbinger, this is a Flying Death Touch. Bit. Am I okay with just more Sticky Tongue Sentinels? We don't have the life gain for this, so I'm less interested in it. A little worried about the place that our curve is at right now. The attack director is +1 if it's a token. I actually think I want the Orator for curve. I don't hate the idea of another Corpseberry Cultivator, because this is a card that we can, like, multiple of these gets kind of wild kind of fast if we have the mill for it. But this is also like a nice payoff for the mill stuff and gives me something to do on 2, which looks a little better. Okay, Daggerfang Duo is also something we can play on 3. I'm not unwilling to pick up the tricks we have here, but like I want to pick up the cards that make our stuff work a little more consistently. Am I okay picking up a Heaped Harvest? I talked about this card and thinking I'm okay with like one of it to get up to the 6 stuff. Sure, let's take one. Carrot Cake coming around, Peerless Recycling. Ah, well, that's fine. High Stride, and then let's take our Dire Sight. That's the way around. Okay, so we have a little bit of between the cash grabs and the foragers and some of the food bits. We've got a nice amount of that around. Not like huge as far as like a exact payoff, but like we do have a pretty hefty like creatures setup that I feel pretty happy with. This as like our creature curve. Put in the Hunter's Talent, put in the cash grabs, put in the Consumed by Greed, one of the Heaped Harvests. Hugs, I love you, good friend. Double red is a little bit too much for my blood when we didn't get any of the like mana fixing 2-drops. The set has a number of these like 2 mana creatures that tap for different styles of mana. There's a 1/3 mole. There's a rarer Offspring one that has like a self-tap counters. There's a Raccoon that taps for red or green and red-green, which would be a little bit more that direction. Don't hate the Fountain Port Bell as well. Let's turn this 19 creatures. Box mascot? Yeah. There we go. So between the cash grabs and the, I don't feel too necessary on like the Dire Sight. Just looking at what we have up top, if maybe we're too heavy there. I really want to make the Husk Burster our big payoff. And we have our Curious Forager to be able to keep that back. You know, maybe I'd want Recycling too if we want to go that route, but Bonebind. Oh, and we have Bonebind as well as another piece of recursion. This is a fine thing to like mill. Consumed by Greed is I'm a little worried about based on there's also another creature recursion piece. Ephemeron, thanks for the big sub. I appreciate it. Welcome. We have a little bit higher curve of Golgari going here than I'd truly like. But I'm pretty happy with how things look. Probably I'm gonna really don't hate Heaped Harvester. How many forage effects do we have? I think it's Forager and the 2 Cultivators. So it's not like huge focus on foraging. Like the cash grabs. Yeah, this card is a lot better if we're foraging it to like Cultivator than paying for it. Then it's like a ramp piece that also keeps us moving and pays off some more of our stuff. Looks like that's all we have here. Taking a look and seeing if maybe some of the top end is something I cut out. I think Wix Patrol is just powerful as a like FTK sort of effect. I love the bees. Yeah. Here have the Heaped Harvest, and yeah, the Wolverine is nice to have the artifact or enchantment kill for things like powerful classes or sometimes equipment in the right hands can be a problem. This thing also has like no fail state. Its fail state is a 6/5 for 5, and that's like sure, like okay. I accept that as our fail state as the large body. Usually it's like kill a token or like hand off +1/+1 to something that can go into combat immediately. Because something I want it to be like higher up. Maybe it's a tree guard duo? Or a sticky tongue sentinel? I don't know. I don't want to cut one of the twos. I feel like we already have like a fine amount there. I'd love to fit the harvests in here, but I don't think we have enough room. I'm probably going to cut one of the sentinels. I like this card a lot. We also could cut down to 16 land, but like with this at the top, I feel a little like that might be an incorrect choice, especially with no innate mana search in the deck. Maybe including the bell over land 17? I don't hate that. If I include the bell over land 17, that is a little bit like harder to work with on like a top deck, but also later than in the game, the bell can just cycle. Anything else? I didn't cut it. I don't hate it. Because again, like, this bell acts as a land in almost every circumstance. Even on a one-lander, it fixes for that to get the second. I'm gonna go with this. Hey, Hugs. Hugs on the booster. Yeah, this isn't as aggro as I've been feeling the format, but it does have some nice pieces to it in the green. And it has a little bit of like, happy center. This is keepable. Thanks, Fountainport Bell. I'm still gonna put a land on top, I think. That's actually a hard question now. I'm gonna decline that. I had to think. You're an instant, right? Hell yeah. Okay, pawn profit. Sure. Are they gonna find land 3? Looks like it. Here's cash grab. Mill 4. Let's put... We'll grab a land here. We can recur most of the things that matter coming off that. We can grab the Moose with Forager. Grabbing a 6-drop when you're on 3 lands feels like a little bit too cute of a play. You know what I mean? Like, that's... Like, we're holding recursion pieces, so I don't feel bad about that. Okay, they've got their own harvester. That's fine. So they're going to have some large plays. We can basically just attack and leave up almost everything in our hand, which is nice. I've got the Ambusher, I've got the Cash Grab, I've got just a draw spell. Yeah, this all feels nice. Like, they might have their own Moose-style effects. They've been drawing and ramping. We haven't been pressuring as much as I like. We'll have to see where that goes. We're taking 1, I suppose. That's fine. We could jump in the Ambusher, but I'm not going to. I'd rather save that for a little, like, either end step as a trick or wait for Wonderspout Warden. That's fine. Do we have another play past that, or are we just sacking the food thing? We're sacking the food thing. Okay. So from here, what we're gonna do is ambush in. Yeah, what kind of tricks does this Simic have in the set? Bouncing. The frogs love to bounce things. So this 1/1 is a thing they really like to like bounce in and out of play. We're gonna go with Hunter's Talent. Bust down the door. And I think I'm gonna upgrade the Hunter's Talent right away. Alright. So the reason I want to get the Hunter's Talent up is because now we'll have Tree Guard Duo plus Trample as something we can hand off. And we can push really, really, like, heavy with that sort of damage. That's our way to, like, keep pressure on an opponent here. Where I can attack for, like, 7+ trample. I say plus because we might be able to, like, draw a bit more to make things happen here. Opponent is in a position where I think they can no longer do development of their board. Rather, they need to... Yeah, okay. This is a fine piece for them to push forward on. Gives them a free body. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card here. Ooh, okay. Do I want to just Wix Patrol, kill off the 4/4 and get in for damage? That seems pretty good, actually. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and hand off Trample to Biggest, and that'll clean it up. Very happy with the power of this FTK. Especially because, as we see with our hand, the self-mill gives us a lot more forward progress for, like, Forager, pick up Moose, and still have a lot of gas in the hand, cash grab for a little bit more card selection. And the Hunter's Talent, on its upgrade, turns into a copy of, what's the name? Garrick's 3-mana enchantment. Garrick's I like 4-power creatures thing. I think we've had it a couple times. That isn't just in that form. But it's a bit expensive compared to the 3-mana enchantment, but it's on a thing that already hands off power, so it makes it easy for, like, this to make it. Yes, because this is secretly for a 3-power creature. So... But yeah, it's like green 2 Uprising. Yeah, Uprising. Yeah, having a fight spell like that's fine too. Found Port Bell again, saving hands. Oh, nice. Thanks, Found Port Bell. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate you a lot. Got for a drink and realized you have Moose and Squirrel. We do have Moose and Squirrel, you're right. Alright. Let's get Agate Blade aggressive. I don't know if we'll be able to attack with it next turn. They might play a 3-power thing, but if we are able to... Ding ding. And then let's get Daggerfang going. That gets us a little bit more, sure, get some lands out of the way. We're looking for lands, but we have a couple options for it. Both Cash Grab and the Fountain Port Bell can get us there, so I don't feel like we're in a terrible rush. Opponent also is, opponent is also not super, they missed their land drop too. Let's push, see what happens. See if they just make the trade, or if they have like a saver and take out Agate Blade. Take the trade. I'm gonna Cash Grab and no, I'm gonna crack the Fountain Bell. Okay, then we'll Cash Grab. Sure. That's a lot of land. This is getting there. Ooh, third color. Star Charter. This is gain a lost life, creature 3 power from top of your deck. Okay. Well, let's keep doing this. Okay. Huskburster looking pretty solid here. Oh, boy. You don't lifelink, do you? Okay. We really want to get to Wix Patrol. That's going to be pretty powerful. Do I have any permanents down here that would get us out of this? With the Forager to grab? Yeah, so their hand was off color rather like obviously they were stuck on 3, but they were also off color more than anything else. I think we just want to go play biggest. I could attack, but, you know, whatever. Wix Patrol saves us here. Okay, Sinister Monolith turns on all their effects. That gets a little dicey pretty fast. We're definitely looking for ways to cut this out. Alright, pick up a Gerbils. I'm gonna... That thing's fine at 2. We're gonna take the discard on the Corpse Belly Cultivator for the Mo. If we get land 6, I'd be most happy. Maybe I have to force the issue. Perhaps. I get the feeling they have exile target creature, hand off a fish? No? Okay. That was my worry there. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Forager out this turn. The reasoning I'm going with the Forager this turn is so that we can get the Wix Patrol. 1, 2, 3. And then we can just pick up a forest here. And then forest, sentinel. The idea here is that next turn we can play the Wix Patrol and then kill, because they won't have enough blockers. Sticky Tongue Sentinel is a little bit of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Sticky Tongue Sentinel gives us a little bit more time, so we aren't dying to the star charter here, and we can just take it. Okay, they get another creature. Ooh, oh, God, that's a pain. I'm gonna go ahead and... we're gonna sack the food. Alright. Hello! And now we've got -8. Soup! This forces all blocks. If they have to block all 3 of these. Or 3 of these. So, because all of these are 3 per blocker. 3, 3, 3, 6 for 2. Okay, that gets them 2 per? Okay, that's a trick that gets them a lot more time. But you know, we still have them on 6. I'm gonna play this land so that we can bone bind order for a 3 or 4, a 4 more importantly, for the downwind ambusher, but likely just a husk burster replay. Tree Guard would actually be another fine one to play. Coiling Rebirth, giving me a card. Pick up Star Mentor. Ooh, that's okay. Hold on. We know everything. Fight this, trample here, all out is... the all out would be a block here, and we win? I just go to 1. There we go. we used the correct amount of life. Like, I was a little worried on sacrificing the food a little bit ago that, like, we might have some problems with that. But, like, no, we were in a pretty strong way. This Rebirth card, by the way, Coiling Rebirth, gifts a card to resurrect a creature, and then it makes an offspring if it's not a legend, if you do the gift. So that way they get 2 of the mentors. This spell is very good for, like, most stages of the game. And I'm actually really impressed with the power of Sinister Monolith. I feel like it is possible our opponent should have used that for the 2 cards on their turn. To maybe try and find a second copy of Sonar Strike or another body. I don't know how much that changes things, but... if that gift was any other card, our line then becomes a little different, where we have to, like, use the ability of Bone Bind Order to get us back into the game. Perhaps this is just by us picking up Downwind Ambusher. Perhaps this is by us, like, perhaps with that I'm likely not going to take the damage. If I don't know that I have lethal already. So, anyway, I'm going to step away for just a second to grab a drink, and then we'll keep moving. Yeah, with I'm back here. With how heavy they were into the bat stuff and synergies on it, the blue was likely a one card splash for perhaps some bird legend or perhaps some rat they liked. I've seen scrolls a couple times, and the synergy they have is very powerful. The because a lot of the bits they have access to, like the food is another way to work with bat synergy, so that's fine. Like that works out. The value that they get off of some of their come into play recursion works with some of the frog stuff. They have a lot of different directions. This is awkward, but I'm gonna keep it. Hidden Grotto is like another bite at the land. I can just discard. Yeah, okay, well then we're fine. I like Baker's Bane Duo. Okay, 1/1 Menace can pump. Really big fan of the duo here. This is just like very glue. I can't block that. That does Menace. So, if they want to hit me, they can hit me. Kill spell on the Baker's Bane? Gecko. Oh, boy. Our opponent is... Oh, okay. Alright, alright. We are, I understand. Let's go, Cultivator. This is our... My answer to this is, put up the defenses. Try to get to the Burster Swarm. This thing is, if you hit, you get the mana back there. So, okay. We've got some time now. What we're gonna do is Sticky Tongue Sentinel. I'm gonna pick up the Baker's Bane Duo if they'll let me. Because I'd like to get this outside of kill spell range and into like some really annoying size. I think they're just gonna loot if they didn't have anything to do there. And next turn, I think Corpseberry can start moving in as a 4/5. They don't have good trades for a 4/5 on the board. They have to throw away a lot to get their Bloodthirst-esque abilities on if they don't have a spell. Okay. I think this turn is where we push in and see what we get. I think we get a 2-for-1. So we're gonna go... Bark Knuckle. Baker's Bane. Let's go ahead and eat food. And we'll do some pushing. If they want to block the Sticky Tongue with 2/2/2s, I'm fine with that outcome. If they want a 2-for-1 instead of... Okay. That's fine. That outcome's much in our favor. 2/2/2s would have been just free there. Why act the 1/1? Okay, so they get their ping on us. That happens. Okay, and a 4/4. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Forager here. I will double block because that gets some creatures in the yard, and the Husk Bursters will be on if 2 creatures die. So that would be in our favor, I believe. Okay, they're taking damage. Ooh, I love Heartfire. This is such a good card. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and block with, these two, because this will be indestructible if we spend 4 mana. I could also not block, but I want to be able to play these things, and I think that's important enough for me to make that block. Might be a little, like... Yeah, like, because if we weren't able to play this here, the math kind of on this turn shifts a little bit too much. Whereas here, now we have a... You know... Crunch. So we're taking a damage. Puts us on 15. They've got us much deeper than that with a lot of their fling or ping effects. Boar is not good enough. Wow. Yeah, alright. Let's press. All right. Okay, they've got the order to pick up, but opponent's in a little bit of a pickle, as it were. They can't kill this Huskburster. Yeah, they are, they are highlighting. So we're doing this to make our Bark Knuckle invincible, and then I can attack in. Okay, that's enough. So yeah, that was a game that was definitely, like, our haymakers beat out what they had. It's very... I really enjoy the turn where our opponent plays down Quake Tusk Boar and has to go... pass. Like, you play one of the best uncommon crushers, and then go, I'm good, actually. Expend is very basic, but plays really nicely. I've had that experience with a lot of the Expend cards. Just, you are taking actions, and because, like, one of the things that I value in a mechanic, not just from, like, a competitive standpoint, but just from, like, a mechanical standpoint, is when you have a mechanic that unconsciously pushes tighter play patterns, when you have a mechanic that, like, makes you think that, in order to use the mechanic, you have... The plays that you would make to optimize for that are plays that are, like, good for you in a play pattern sort of thing anyway. You know, it is, you know, you know, something like, okay, this is a mechanic that makes you want to play your spells post-combat, or, Roaring Boxer. Is the archetype blurbs fixed? It's still what it is. Oh, what are we doing? Bunnies? Bunnies? Bats? Bats. Uh-oh. Okay. So this ramps for any color, and it's an anthem. This is such a good uncommon. Good news for us, it's very easy for us to get the Bark Knuckles to be invincible in combat for the next couple turns with our pair of 2s and our Tree Guard. Life Duo, okay. I think we're just gonna go... Agate Blade, Bone Bind, get our indestructible triggers, and push. If they want to fly over with that bat, then next turn we can, like, Tree Guard and just Hadoken, right? that Anthem's probably worth back one, pick one in a lot of circumstances. Can see that. It's very open-ended. It doesn't require you to be in anything, and it's going to be beneficial in almost anything. Very hard for this to not be doing a lot of work. You know, our deck is a little bit more spread in card types. Alright, my way to beat my opponent who has 9 power of flying is I'm gonna try and push him down. This is a little tough. I'm not terribly happy with our race here. We're actually losing it if they gain any point of flying here. Ooh, that is one that does it. We need something that board breaks or helps out with this in particular. Corpseberry doesn't. Cash grab. I want skunk. I want... This is tough. I want frog. No, that's not enough either. Ooh, we're just barely getting pushed over the line with this. Return target permanent won't do it. Fountain Bell, blind draw. There's the ambusher. This was one of them on the list. We do get to all attack. Yeah, so like there we would be able to try to like fix here, but now we're Glide Duos plus bats in the air. All right, they were able to assemble this in a fast enough way to get us killed for it. That's the power of the Patchwork Banner, both giving their team a large boost for you know, killing us quickly and being able to block in combat, but also accelerate them off. My experience in this format is that generally you can go under flyers, but I've been playing a lot of like red-green aggro, and they also do have a number of like options for that. Certainly, like there are 2 full sets that have, like, you do have to keep an eye out for it, because, like, the whole of birds and the whole of, this hand sucks, actually. 6, 8, 5, 6, 4? No thanks. This one's fine, we just throw a swamp under the bus, and it's like, could be better. But, like, definitely planning, but my preparation is, like, is the same plan for everything. Bravekin Duo, love this card. Think it's very good. Most of the duos, I think, play well enough, like, for like, getting things done. There's a couple that I think are a little bit below where I want them to be, but that's okay because they also play like an important bridge role, and not everything needs to be like pick limited. Okay. Sure. Ooh, Corpseberry. Also, Downwind Ambusher actually looks really good here. Like, Downwind Ambusher gets Bravekin Duo off the board, and Bravekin Duo... Okay, well, never mind. Could have been anything, really. We can work with this still. Like, the big thing about this is that Downwind Ambusher is both a expend 4 trigger and a -X/-X. So, like, if we catch our opponent in combat in any way, I think we can do some good work. Phineas is a problem and a half. Alright. So we're trying here to catch... like this. Okay. Alright. To battle! And then, Usburster's on the on the prowl. Here's our swarm of bees. Not big enough. Unless they have fish? Oh, they have fish. They have Chrome and get it. That's fine. Okay. From this position, I think we're still okay. Cash Grab is a fine draw, and Wix Patrol is absolutely what we need to not be dead. Cash Grab gets us some continuing power here. Okay, Carrot Cake. Our opponent is heavily committed to the bunnies. I would love to draw the Wolverine at some point. Yeah, this Cash Grab. Okay, oh, do I go for that or do I just go for a 3/4? Ooh, that is an open question. I'd be looking for Huskburster. I'd be looking for one of our Corpse Berries. I'd be looking for way to pick up Wix Patrol would be nice. I'm gonna go for Tree Guard here. Just get a 3/4 going. We can pop a food, and then hopefully, like, this is enough that our opponent doesn't have, like, 3 rabbit. Okay, they've got 2 rabbit, which is like 3 rabbit, but, like, not. It has a bunch of scrying, though, so let's them... They've done a ton of scrying to get past a lot of the problems that... Alright, we're gonna go ahead and block. If they've got Crumb, it's fine. Yeah. Don't lie to me. You're, like... You're not somebody who's making that mistake. Come on. Over there giving me the oops like they need to put me in on a combat trick like that. I can't play that. Oh, I can't play the Wolverine either. That's such a pain. Yeah, none of this is good for us. This exact mana base is really a buster right now. Both Wolverine and the Moose would have been really nice, but the Forest gets us killed, I think. Well, let's see. We take 9, we go to 4, and then I untap and... Yeah, I think we just die. I'm pretty sure we just die. Because, like, Forest doesn't let me play this either. They're gonna scry before draw. They've been doing a lot of scrying. One of the strengths within this deck is that there is a lot of the internal scrying like that. Yeah, that ain't doing it. Hi. Moose is here. Yeah, the Anthem, as we've seen, like, works a lot of power within... I mentioned it being very good in different decks. We saw in Bats, it's like, okay, my evasion creatures get better. In this deck, it's a pile of 1/1s that all of a sudden become problems. Ascian 5. This is not a keepable looking one. I'm sorry, hold on. Is this the same 7? I'm mulliganing this, but is this the exact same 7? Or is, like, are we one card off? The odds are very low. Let's see if we can draw the same 7 again. Sure. Let's head to the tape. I don't know that it is bound to happen. I mean, in the cosmic sense, sure. Oh, shit. One card off, okay. This thing does not have menace. Two cards off. Okay, thank you. Sitting here just losing my mind. Order became Corpseberry, Hunter's Talent became Baker's Bane duo. Okay. So Gev here is very powerful. Lizards now ping me. If I'm pinged, all creatures come in with a 1/1 counter. And also has a ward on protection. The problem here is that in order for us to, like, kill this, I need to, keep a creature in play for Hunter's Talent. We're getting closer for the Huskburster, but Gev needs to die. Gev is, like, way too, much of a problem. Hopefully we're just able to either get it in combat or force it into a bad situation. Hunter's Talent is the obvious. Alright, so they get a 5/4. Okay. I'm gonna believe. Ha ha! Hello! Huskburster's here! So the cool thing with the Huskburster is that this forces them to activate the Menace on Cutthroat to get in for 5 here, which is what they're gonna do. Because, like, obviously that's just way too good to not take that. Blue! For another Cutthroat! Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, but, like, check this out. Yeah, our opponent has manually changed every land in their deck. Hello. I'm picking it up. So again, I'm forcing the Menace if they want to get in with the Cutthroat, which right here I'm trying to mana starve our opponent and use that as our tempo. Yeah, like as long as we have more than one life, we're fine, we can win. So I want to force our opponent to make plays that stick them back, and then we can use Hunter's Talent or, you know, the duo, and, like, we can push over the line with Talent Trample, right? So, that's the idea in my mind. I will discard the Tree Guard duo. Ooh, okay. Alright. I like the Moxie. These all have Menace, so we're gonna go front foot against them. They can double block on the Husk. I'm okay with this. Do they have a Threaten? They have a Threaten, right? That's what's happening here? The 5-drop Lizard that has a Threaten? Wick the World Mind. Okay, Wick or another rat. Sacrifice a snail. So we're just gonna... Yeah, that's 3 colors. So that's why they have the 3rd color in here, is the activation on this. They can play this card without it, and it just makes, like, a 1/1 army snail. The idea here is that the swarm is gonna get us over the line still. Mind Drill, not active. That's important. Not active. Final card in hand, playable? They don't have a Surveil. Final card in hand, usable, but not playable immediately. They can trade. I would assume the blue is single activation for the snail fling. That would be what I would be doing. I think they were triple blocking. Okay. Like, it still lets them use the Mind Drill as well, but really it's here for this card, right? Like... Alright. I'm gonna hold the land. The idea is I might get them to flashback the cool flashback spell. I'd like them to take a turn off. Again, tempo is a way we get through this. Picking up Gev? Is that what this is? Picking up Gev. Okay. That makes sense. It's a very powerful play. I'm going to try and press. Okay. They're running in a bit of fear. Playing the land so that we can... Specifically, the idea behind the land play there is that so I can cash grab and still play some of the large creatures off it. If I didn't play that land, there's a world where I cash grab into, like... Yeah, okay, that's fine. We cash grab into, like the moose and we can't play it. Okay. Trade 3s. Do they have a 2-drop to follow up or just a removal spell? Just a removal spell. Okay. 8/8. Okay. This is a great draw. This is a really good draw for us because it contests Gev and also is a recursion piece for, like, Huskburster. And yes, I know 2 of our cash grabs are down, but we have 3, so. I think this stops them from going combat, and they probably just okay, cycle for trample. Just, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know that I would attack into this. I would probably just try to, like, wait out this 2/2. If I don't know. That gets them a damage. Final card in hand is blue. Recursion? You have a pickup again? What is this? What's your pickup? Let's pick up the... You don't splash a counter spell like that. You know what I mean? Like, Mana Leak isn't a card you play on the 1 mana like splash. What is this? I think it's a Raised Dead or something like that. There's got to be some sort of Raised Dead we're looking at here. We're doing a lot of graveyard highlighting is why I keep thinking that. That card's an instant. Ooh, okay. Not gonna lie, we've seen this card on the other side. I just sort of didn't realize the card was also an instant. That really shifts up the power on that card even higher than I had it. Like, I already had this as a fine card because of the like life drain making it a little better. Oh. I don't think I can attack. I don't think I can attack. Right? Damage to the opponent equal to power. So if I go to combat, they attack. I block 2 of these. They fling the... I can't attack. This is close. We are all playing on the knife's edge right now. Do I have to -1 the snail? Maybe. We can't take this hit. Even if I... So, like, there's even a world where I, like, let this through, but this... The snail gets +1/+1 and kills me then, so I need to trade. We know the card in their hand. It is another rat, so that's another +1/+1 on the snail. So the effect here is sack a snail, fling it to the opponent, and draw that much. Draw that many cards. So they can fling this for 2 or 3 the moment they pass turn. It'll go up to 3. If they fling it now... I don't think we can win here. If they sack it end step, we have a chance. They can draw 3 dead cards. Okay. Perhaps those 3 cards are dead. If they have any removal, we die. If they can make 2 rats and fling again, we die. That's 1 rat. That's not 2 rat, that's 1 rat. Okay. Take a look at the snail, by the way. Please just appreciate snail. This is just on a rat entering. Right? Like, am I... Am I missing something? What am I missing? The activate... Surveil? I might be missing the surveil. Maybe they have their own... Obviously, that attack means they have something. Maybe their own skunk. That's the most likely outcome, is their own skunk. Oh, yeah, this card has a lot of text. Okay, there's their own skunk. That makes sense. So what we need here is, like... I think we're out of caches, right? Yeah, we're out of caches, so I don't think there's a single draw that gets us here. Well... Get in! Do they have another snail? Can they play 1 snail? Bandit! No! Bandit! My bluff revealed! Bandit! Bring her! Okay, alright, you caught me. You caught me. All they have to do is level up Bandit now and I die. Well, yeah, that's fair. This was a fun one. I really respect the opponent having like this Rakdos aggro that also has Wick as like a long game plan with a lot of these rats. I think that like we were operating pretty well against the Cinder Cuts. And there was a point where like if we could have turned the corner before the snail came down, I think we were in it, but sadly the resources that we lost on the Thoughtstalker Warlock turn were really really big, because on that turn we specifically, that was where we lost both the Hunter's Talent and our I think that was where Tree Guard Duo went down the first time. So that was a pretty big value turn on their end. The fact that we got them to spend a bunch of mana to snipe a swamp worked out back in our favor, and that could have been a point where we turned back in the corner, like with the Huskburster. But sadly, they had a lot of control over the Huskburster to be able to get it off the table. Well played. Well, really enjoyed that. All right, 3-3. I feel like one of the things I'm personally missing on this deck is just that I think the curve's a little bit too skewed high. I talked about during the draft looking for some of the like mono rock-ish creatures that would give us a little bit more of an edge to get to these busters. Really found Wick's Patrol really nice. We never got to play the Moose and Wolverine. I think Wolverine both would have done a good job coming down, but a lot of our games had a lot more aggro tint to them from our opponent that they came through. Huskburster, when you build around this card, is unreasonable. One of the things about this format, just looking over, yeah, Wolverine could have busted the banner if we got the bees. Bees beat banner. One of the things looking at this format, though, the power of the Huskburster is that this card demands either either like a premium piece of removal or a huge amount in combat. This is, yeah, you're right that this is just sort of a wrong fit for the deck. I don't feel like there's anything, like, one of the problems I feel is that I'm not too happy with our ability to ramp up top. Maybe it might have been better as Heaped Harvest and I just give up that 2-drop slot. Honestly, it might have been better as the other Sticky Tongue Sentinel now that we talk about it, because the ability to rebuy on something like Baker's Bane Duo, or even a little bit down the road in Ambusher, Tree Guard, a lot of our top end has rebuy potential. This is basically in here as a body at the low end. Its text is near irrelevant. Yeah, something like Harvest or Dire Sight might have been a little bit better fit. But still, I'm pretty happy with the way this deck... We never drew Consumed by Greed. I'm pretty happy with the direction this deck exists in. Cash Grab obviously works really well. Hunter's Talent is incredibly powerful. Has some great art. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab our 2/3 of the draft back. Let's open some packs. Yeah, I have a very fun time navigating a draft like that and trying to see where we want things to go. But this is what I was talking about, like the Mole Druid here. Honestly, we passed up a couple Pond Prophets, and I would have been pretty happy to have something like that in here as a 1 or 2 of. The Meta Mole. This mole makes me think of the, there's a mole like this in, Murders at Karlov Manor. It's like Tunnel, the Tunnel Mole that loves you to play disguises. But yeah, I've also been impressed with that Downwind Ambusher. Tunnel Trap? Yeah, something like that. I don't think I've seen Splash Lasher. Blue, I haven't seen too terribly much in this set. I feel like it plays a really, really strong support role. The flyers from it, but like part of its lunch is eaten by a couple of the other colors. So I love this. This is a strong bet. You give up a toughness on a Johnny's Pride Mate for some very powerful effects. Three Tree City. Helga! Hey, Helga. Helga's really cool. When you cast a creature with 4 mana or greater, draw, gain a life, put a 1/1 counter on Helga. Tap for any X amount of X's power, and you can only spend it on 4 or X's. This bat flies. It's just like right here. You gotta work. This bat's gotta jump. This bat is at the disco. This is a hopping bat. It's a hopper bat. Beza. Beza is incredible. As one of these like timely reinforcements comeback cards. If your opponent has more lands than you, get a treasure. If they have more life than you, gain 4 life. If they have more creatures than you, get 2 fish. If they have more cards than you, draw a card. The card's also like Chillwind Yeti. 4 for 4/5, which is like fine. Okay, yes. Hello, I'm gonna play that. Yeah. Timely Reinforcements was an older version of the comeback that was a 3-mana spell that was like, if you're behind on creatures, make 3/1/1s. If you're behind on life, gain 6 life. And it was like one of the best anti-red deck cards for a while. Specifically, like if your opponent was on, red deck beatdown, you'd be able to like make a bunch of blockers and gain all your life back up to like 16 and try to turn the board, which you could do. So, I've turned into a huge lizard fan from this set. Like, I love how happy the lizards are, and I also love, like, I really like their layers of aggression. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I think it's a little late to start another stream draft, so this one's gonna end kind of short today, but we'll definitely be getting in more of this, having a fun time with this. Oh, look at this. This art, by the way, is from the non-full art island. You can see it has the little encampment on the left, and then this, very small river. It's very great. This is the stream. Everybody's very thankful for this stream. I understand. But yeah, thank you all for joining today. I'm really happy y'all were here and got to enjoy fun squirrel times. We'll continue to get to explore more of Bloomburrow as we get to. What else? Follow, subscribe, or just hang out and enjoy the ride. We enjoy navigating the rapids of the stream. So yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you for Nick Themeron or Mimi for the subs. Appreciate them a lot. Yeah, so catch you tomorrow for Dragon Warrior Wednesday. Yeah. Night, everybody.